is SVG.
Minutes on to 11 o'clock here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You're locked onto WEFM 99.9, the Clean Fresh Sound, and this is your It's Your Turn program. Remember, It's Your Turn is an interactive program, so the numbers to call are 457-9997 if you're calling from a local landline, 532-9997 if you're calling from a digital cell phone, and you can also call us or send us a message on WhatsApp at 457-9997. The It's Your Turn program is being hosted by Mr. Cecil and Mr. Philbert John. Good morning to you, Cecil.
Good morning to you, Karen, and good morning to Philbert, and good morning to all our listeners on the various platforms. As was introduced, my name is Cecil and I'm happy to be with you another Sunday morning on the program Issue at Hand. Today is August 3. Of course, August 1 was the 187th anniversary of emancipation. And so we are bringing greetings to you, and we are conducting the program to you this morning in the name of emancipation. Philbert?
Thank you, Cecil, and good morning. Good morning, Kieran. Good morning to all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And special greetings to all persons listening to WEFM wherever you are. In neighboring territories, in the wider diaspora, good morning. It's good to be back on another edition of Issue at Hand. And we want to engage as usual in interesting discussion on issues of the day. I think we have something of an open mic today.
Yes, Pigeon, yes.
But all under the banner of emancipation. We hope that emancipation day passed you in good health and you observe the significance of the day. But we're going to hear more about that throughout the course of the morning.
Yes, Pigeon, and just to let our listeners and followers and partners know that Joel will not be on the program today. He's off country, out countries actually. And for most of, if not all of August, he will not be on the program. But we're here and we are, as usual, excited about the program, especially excited about today's version of the program, on which, as Pigeon said, we're going to be featuring. And we're doing it in the context of our emancipation of our people, our parents from chattel slavery. In 1838, that's when that Emancipation Proclamation took effect. Albeit we are still struggling, and that's what it is. The struggle continues, and that's where we are. Today's program, though, although it's open mic, we intend to have, or we expect to have, a call from Minister James. He's offered to give us an indication, an update really, on how the Emancipation Cricket Festival has been going so far. Some interesting numbers that I'm sure he's going to share with us. Also, we expect to hear from one of the captains for today's match, Captain Williams. And you know, Captain Williams is a man who speaks out, he doesn't back down at all. And we want to find out from him if he's going to deliver the goods later on this evening. So Captain Williams, we'd be happy to hear from you. We actually reached out also to Captain Warwican, but he's unable to be on phone with us today. So we're here, and we do apologize for the late start. We, as usual, we are around the studio, but we didn't get going until some 80 minutes after the appointed time. But we are happy to be with you this morning. We welcome those of you who are listening via or following via Star Radio and Garifuna Radio. It's always a pleasure to be to have you be part of our broadcast, part of our airing of the program, really, not broadcast, but the airing of the program. But Pigeon, as we're talking emancipation, I was scanning the paper and see a number of, not only the paper, but Facebook as well, social media really, generally. But in particular, the papers, and I noticed, for example, that a number of the papers have some interesting messages, emancipation messages. A number of articles, a number of institutions in the papers really have carried emancipation or published emancipation messages. And I want to read, at least starting with this one, read one, two of them, starting with this one from the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That one is in the Searchlight newspaper. It says, today, well, it says Happy Emancipation Day, meaning Emancipation Day last Friday. And it says, today we honor the courage and resilience of those who came before us and the freedom they fought for. From the management and staff of the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that's a half-page advertisement. And I think that's significant in the context of where we are in terms of our emancipation journey. And noting that the bank, the biggest financial institution in our country, has seen it fit to express emancipation greetings to its customers, but more broadly, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and beyond. So I just wanted to recognize that. Also, Pijan, there's some interesting opinions expressed in the papers, but I just want to go to one and note that the newspaper, interestingly enough, has a full page, a spread actually. It's really a spread, center spread of a message which says, Emancipation Day, honoring freedom in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Caribbean. And the message, the narrative that they provided with that message was very instructive, and I thought it's useful to read for the rest of our listeners to just take it in. And I want to do so. It reads, every year on August 1st, St. Vincent and the Grenadines joins other Caribbean nations in commemorating Emancipation Day, a day that marks the end of slavery in the British colonies in 1834. And Pigeon, later on, if you don't mind, if you could explain the years that, for example, this one is in 1834. It is a day of reflection, remembrance, and resilience rooted in the long struggle for freedom by enslaved Africans who were brought to the Caribbean through the brutal transatlantic slave trade. The abolition of slavery did not come swiftly or easily. It followed centuries of resistance by enslaved people who fought back through revolts, maroon communities, cultural preservation, and the enduring assertion of their humanity. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, This resistance was led by groups such as the Garifuna people, including legendary leaders like Joseph Chatrier, who symbolized defiance against colonial domination. Their legacies continue to shape the Vincentian identity. Although the Slavery Abolition Act was passed in 1833 by the British Parliament, it took effect on August 1st, 1834. Even then, it introduced a system of, quote, apprenticeship, unquote, which required formerly enslaved people to work without full freedom until 1838. This delayed true emancipation and kept many Africans economically dependent and socially marginalized long after slavery's official end. In the decades since, Emancipation Day has evolved into a vital occasion in the cultural and historical life of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the wider Caribbean. It is a public holiday marked by educational events, cultural performances, traditional music and dance, spiritual gatherings, and community discussions. People wear African attire, sing folk songs, perform drumming rituals, and honor ancestors who endured enslavement and fought for their liberation. Across the Caribbean, Emancipation Day is similarly observed in countries like Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and Guyana. While the activities may differ, the message is the same: to celebrate freedom and remember the injustice of slavery. It is also time to reflect on the legacy of slavery, persistent issues such as racial inequality, economic disparity, and the call for reparations. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in Emancipation Day, especially among younger generations and activists. Conversations around reparatory justice, decolonization of education, and Afro-Caribbean identity have brought deeper meaning to the historical commemoration. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, schools and cultural institutions incorporate the stories of enslaved ancestors and indigenous resistance into national narratives. Emancipation Day is more than a historical remembrance. It is a reminder of the courage and strength of those who came before, and a call to action for present and future generations to continue striving for justice, equality, and dignity. As Vincentians and Caribbean people, let me just take this again. As Vincentian and Caribbean people honor this day each year, they keep alive the memory of struggle and the enduring hope of a truly free society. I thought that was a very appropriate and well put together, Peter.
I agree.
Message from the newspaper. The center spread really with a moving painting. Well, yeah, the carving, if you like, a painting, not a carving, a painting of a reminder of what used to happen when captured Africans were brought from West Africa and were sold in as if it's in a market. That's the picture that I see here from the news. It's moving, you know. When you look at these things and remember what happened, I mean, I don't know, you have to have a very hard and inhuman heart if you don't feel the way that you ought to feel with respect to what happened during this period of human existence. It's truly a crime against humanity. And in Renwick's article, social article column for this week, Renwick is reminding us of those struggles and the conditions, but he's also importantly reminding us that inhuman things are happening today elsewhere in the world, certainly in the Gaza Strip. And just like we meet to celebrate, we do things here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the wider Caribbean to celebrate and commemorate emancipation. We ought to give a thought, if only, to what's happening in the Gaza Strip and in the West Bank, as the Palestinian people are subjected to those inhuman acts, those wicked acts by the government of Israel. And I mean, if you have any element of humanity in you, you would see what it is. And you would understand why today in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have to celebrate emancipation. We have to celebrate the commemoration of emancipation. And some may, and there, as they have, some may decry the link between the various forms of struggles, and including cricket. Cricket is an instrument, has been and is and continues to be an instrument of our struggle for fuller emancipation and against the wickedness that was perpetrated during enslavement. Some don't see it so, but in my heart, deep in my heart, I know that it is when you draw the parallels. There are contradictions, yes, but in terms of our existential being, we got to link them in order. I mean, when I say them, you got to link how we express ourselves. Well, the article that I read in the news says we express ourselves in various ways, culturally, musically, in all ways. And even in our language, because even as we speak our own Vinci form of English, is an expression that we are also fighting against formal English, which is a leftover of the wicked system. We were robbed of our language, and thanks to the Garifuna people, they continued to protect and safeguard the language of the original aspects of the original language for parents, for bearers. But even that, as we express ourselves is a form of struggle against the wicked system of slavery, of enslavement. And so also is our cricket today. Yes, Peter, sorry.
There's a debate which we could have, and perhaps get it settled, whether or not emancipation was granted to us, or whether or not we fought for emancipation and achieved it. There's the view that the British decided to make a gift of emancipation. But there's also a view that no, it wasn't just granted to us. It's something that we fought for and struggled for and eventually achieved. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, up front, my thoughts are that, well, let me go to, I don't know if there's a guy who was the first Attorney General in the People's Revolution in Grenada. I don't remember his name. He was the Attorney General. He was from Jamaica. And he wrote a book with the title, Slaves Who Abolished Slavery.
Okay, yeah.
And that in itself tells you that, and I mean, the history is replete with instances where there were all kinds of revolts, and the enslaved just decided they're not going to have it. They're going to burn this. They're going to burn that. They're going to massacre. They're going to kill the so-called those who enslaved them, and so on and so forth. So there was from the very beginning, and in fact from the very beginning when the ships were, the coming across the Atlantic. They're stories that the captured Africans, many of them, threw themselves overboard. And I believe one can recount that even from the time they were captured back in West Africa, there were attempts to free themselves. So that in itself tell you that there was a resistance from the very start, and that resistance intensified from those days on to the plantation. There was always resistance. So slaves, the enslaved themselves, played a cardinal role in their own liberation.
We could go back to Barbados in 1815, 16.
Exactly.
Barbados in 1823, as in the Guyana area. And I think the most intense one was in Jamaica in 1831. I think what they call it, the Baptist War. And I think the British was definitely getting fed up of the constant rebellion.
And don't forget, I was here.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, even as far back as 1795 with the Garifuna.
The longest guerrilla war was fought here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, led by His Excellency Joseph Chatouet. The Garifuna led that war.
So they didn't willingly set us free?
No. And in any place in history, if you look back, where people are kept under bondage or in bondage, is always the people themselves who are suffering, who begin the act to free themselves.
Yeah. So and even the apprenticeship period, as was referred to in the article, that was supposed to be for 6 years, but they just couldn't make it. They cut it short.
Yeah, they had to cut it short from 1834 to 1838.
Right.
That was the apprenticeship period. So all the stories in history, all the accounts show that the enslaved, certainly in the case of our own experience in the Caribbean.
And I think there was still the resistance that manifested itself in 1935.
In 1935 riots here.
In 1935 riots here.
Yeah.
That too could be a throwback from the period of slavery and the underlying resistance, dissatisfaction with conditions, etc.
And even as we're speaking, is as I said at the beginning, this struggle continues. It must continue, where you have people being the effect of that early period of enslavement. It will happen, and in different ways, as the reading from the newspaper spreads it. In different ways, in different forms, and in different era, people have done things to resist oppression, to resist the inhuman acts of enslavement, and so on and so forth. I mean, it's replete in our history. So that thing that people see, that some see, is we were granted free. Not such. Well, it may appear so, but it isn't. In essence, it's not so. People worked and fought.
A response to the pressure that the system came under.
Yeah. And even cricket. In fact, I had the privilege yesterday evening to be in company with the legends in that roundtable discussion at Villa. That was organized by I think it might have been the organizers of the Emancipation Cricket Festival. And what I heard So Clive Lloyd saying about even cricket, the struggle, even within cricket, where they talked about that struggle, and the struggle for dignity and for on behalf of the Caribbean people. So Clive Lloyd made the point that it also rests on the question of money. He made the point that whereas they played matches where the MCC was making millions of dollars, and they that's why they were in that early period having the West Indies cricket team come to England and they were in demand because they were filling stadia all over the world, he said. And in return, they were given pittance. That's what he said. They were given pittance to show that the colonizers, and in those days, most of the countries from which the legends have come, were still not fully independent. So we had the colonizers in place, and they recognized the value of cricket, the value that the legends brought to the game of cricket, their skills, their talents, their flair, the flair in which they play the game, and how they were attracting people. And so the colonizers, then it was the MCC, now it's the ICC, they were there to milk, and not only milk, but they just generated capital money on the backs of the legends and the West Indies cricket team at the time. So they were making, and they're still making, the billions of dollars from it. And those of us from the Caribbean, and not the same for us. And that's one of the points Sir Clive made yesterday in that roundtable discussion. And it's linked to the struggle against, it's a continuation of the struggle for justice, for fairness, for freedom, and so on and so forth. So they recognized it, and they were in their own way struggling, and mainly on behalf of the Caribbean people who were so glad to have them play and defeat those other teams. So Peter, I'm making the point that the enslaved people themselves and the people who continue to experience the absence of freedom and humanity, they're the ones who put up this struggle.
Yeah.
And they put up this struggle also because they recognize that they can play a role in handling or dealing with the exploitation. They were very much aware of the exploitation in terms of their labor and their power to generate material wealth for those who were the colonizers. And that is where I think we have to appreciate the role of our own role, whether it's in culture, in sports, and whatever, in that struggle. And the struggle continues today. I think that's what we have been. Yeah. And for some, I still hear some people questioning the value of emancipation, questioning. I just find people not analytic enough when they consider these things. They're not analytic enough, unfortunately. But we need to lift. We need to see it for what it is. I mean, it's not a surface thing. It's deep, and we need to get to the depth of all of this. And to see that our emancipation did not just happen. People died. People who were killed, and that's why it's so deep. And that is why we continue to fight. Yeah, Pigeon. Yeah,
the colonizers, again, had this notion of recognizing Emancipation Day on the first Monday in August. And for decades in my earlier life, I never knew what August Monday was all about.
It's true. It's true.
You just know you have a holiday on August Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it wasn't until around 1984 thereabout,
Mm-hmm.
when it was supposed to be the 150th anniversary, that I could recall Dr. A. John Fraser delivering a speech, I think it's in Victoria Park,
Okay.
recognizing the 150th anniversary of thing. Then I realized fully then that August Monday is actually Emancipation Day.
Mm-hmm.
And this administration formalized it dispense with the August Monday holiday and institute the 4th of August as the day. Okay, and we have some groups now recognizing not just from midnight on the 31st of July. Much similar to perhaps what happened back in 1834 when the enslaved were setting up for the next for the Monday or the 4th of August.
And even this pigeon, I remember. You have. I know for sure the folks who are connected with that, the diamond experience in terms of freedom and that kind of thing. Like this last, when is it now? Thursday night, there's a flambeau march, which usually happens these days, from the Olinhorn Square in Diamond Village down to the Sanssouci Gap and back. I was part of that at least on one occasion. But also, I don't know if you recall, you may not, but on this program, we had carried that midnight transition from midnight, July 31st into August 1. And we had live reports from Diamond. I think we had a live report also from Rose Hall. And someplace else, I think we had a live report. But it was this transition from midnight on the 31st of July to the 1st, into the 1st of August, to again to register the significance of that the day of the 1st. And people may recall, some people, in fact, I was speaking with my friend, so I was we were joking about the importance of I was asking, I wished her happy emancipation, and so she was kind of hesitant to acknowledge. So I said to her, maybe your grandmother would appreciate more the importance of it. She said, her grandmother, So she got the grandmother. And the first thing the grandmother said to me, all are we ladies now? But that's what the women said in their celebration on August 1, 1834. The person who always reminded me of that was Oscar, the late Oscar Allen. He passed on. He always reminded me that that is what, in fact, he wrote I remember he wrote a pamphlet, and that was the caption, all are we ladies now. But that's how the woman felt about the significance of that August 1 date, 1838. It wasn't a slight, it didn't slight it. It was big. It was massive, a massive accomplishment, a massive achievement. And that is how, people, that's how we are to look back at emancipation. We are to, on that day, it's a big day. And we are to appreciate it and celebrate it, in whatever form that we see fit. But Pigeon, I just want to give our listeners, especially those who may not have had that kind of experience that some of us have had. Let's say the Mighty Sparrow, it's on this whole thing of slavery. He is singing about slavery. Listen.
From a land so far, I was caught and I was brought here from Africa. I'm a slave from a land so far. I was caught and I was brought here from Africa. Well, it was licks like fire from the white slave master every day. Sat down on my knees, weeks and weeks before we crossed the seas to reach in the West Indies. Then they make me work. I said I work. Good Lord, no pay. I I say I toil so hard each day. I'm dying. I'm crying. Many times I wanted to run, but the English slave master standing there with the gun. Oh, I know he gonna shoot to kill. So I stay and I pray, but I'm planning still. I study night and day how to break away. I got to make a brilliant escape. But every time I think about the whip and them dogs, my body that start to shake. He made me walk. I said I was. Oh Lord, no pay. I toil hard each day. I'm dying. I'm crying, Lord. Oh, Lord, I wanna be free. In my heart, there was much to say, and I hope that the boss would have listened to me someday. Although he knew my request was small, it was the sting of the whip there to answer me when I called. We had to chant and sing to express our feeling to that wicked and cruel man. That was the only medicine to make him listen. And his so calypso began. He made me work and said I work. Oh Lord, no pay. I say I toil hard each day. I'm dying. I'm crying. Well, Lord, I wanna be free. And then times came in many ways. Till one day somebody said, free the bloody slave. I was then put out on the street. I had no clothes, I have no food, I have no place to sleep. I had no education, no particular ambition. This I cannot conceal. Forgot my native culture, live like a vulture. From the white man I had to steal because he made me work. I said I work. Oh Lord, no pay. I toil. I say I toil so hard and cry. Oh Lord, I wanna be free.
Yeah, Pigeon, how good. I sometimes wonder, people who listen or who hear this, I don't know if people do go back to these kinds of songs, but that captured, that song captures that whole torture, that experience of an enslaved individual, you know, and that was a masterpiece of Sparrow. The year that he came out, with it early. This is a remix, a redone of the very first song, the very first version, sorry, of his song. Yeah, it's every time I listen to that song, you know, it just brings back vividly the picture of what that enslaved individual faced. Yeah, just to give our listeners an idea, of August, which was declared Emancipation month of activities, really, August, for us here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This year, the theme is Embracing Our Past, Forging into the Future. That's the theme. And again, the news newspaper was good enough to publish on page 15, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure which page it is. But anyway, the program, not a packed program, but I'll read what's here anyway. On Thursday, we experienced Thursday, 31st of July, where it's going from Thursday, 31st of July to the 2nd of August, which is today, Emancipation Cricket Festival at the Honorsville Stadium.
The third.
I think they made a mistake. Yeah, it's the third. And yeah, even as I say so, they made a mistake. They have the second, but it's really the third. So it's 31st July to the 3rd of August, Emancipation Cricket Festival at the Honorsville Stadium. Also, well, the week had already went on in Diamonds Village out in country, in from San Souci. That week took place. But even before that, there was. Oh, I missed for the month of. I'm a bit mixed up here because it's supposed to be August. Oh no, I'm correct. Yes, they're correct. And then Friday there was We Are Culture that happened in Georgetown. That should have happened already. And on the second, Miss SVG Teen 2025 happened at La View Boutique Hotel. I'm not a man in terms of, I don't know if that took place. I believe it did. And then coming up on Friday, this Friday, 8th, and we've been encouraged to wear heritage, public, private. No, actually, it's Wear Your Heritage, public-private sector showcase, and Freedom Trail, and Drum Circle in Chateaubalay. Yeah, Chateaubalay is in the house on 8th. You're going to be having the Freedom Trail and Drum Circle. And then on the 9th, Future Africa, and that's going to be a fashion and art exhibition outside the old public library. That is the Carnegie, I think it's the Carnegie Library in Heritage Square. I think that's what they're referring to. So it says Future Africa, Fashion and art exhibition, starting at 10 a.m. and going to 5 p.m. I should have said for the drums, for the Freedom Trail and Drums Cycle in Chateaubriand, that one is at 2 p.m. That's next week, Friday. This week, Friday, 2 p.m. That's happening. And on the 11th, moving on to 11th, our Vincentian History. And that's going to take place at the Global Campus at 7 p.m. I believe it should be a lecture, our Vincentian History, at the UE Global Campus at 7 p.m. And on the 15th, next week, Friday.
Is that when they're going to launch the Vincentian history text?
I'm not sure. I hope somebody's listening to us who can call us and tell us, give us a bit more information on that. It may well be that, P-Chan. I haven't seen any other promo, but somebody who is part of the planning of that could call the program and update us.
And we are supposed to have a special program on the 10th.
Yes, that's Winston George and his group to talk about the
when is Aidisha coming back?
Aidisha is coming back the Sunday after that.
Okay.
To talk about the Idol Fest.
17th,
Aidisha and her group. And that would be on the 17th of August. She and her group will be coming in. And hopefully we would have some of the chefs who are coming in from across the region. We could have some of them, hopefully. If not them in body, but in voice, we could have them on the program on that day. I haven't discussed the full program with Aidisha, but I plan to. All right, so, and on the 15th, that is next week, next week, Friday, sorry. It's Where Your Heritage, public-private sector showcase, Rhythms of Our Ancestors. That's also taking place at the vegetable market, 1 p.m. And when I see Rhythms of Our Ancestors, the person who comes to mind is regular caller. His name I come back to that in a while. And then on the 20th, Roots and Voices Kalinago Tribe, and that's happening at New Montrose, 7 p.m. That's on the 20th. And on the 21st, we have Friends of Oscar Allen Memorial Lecture. That's happening also at the Global Campus, 7 p.m. Friends of Oscar Allen Memorial Lecture. And that's the lecture that's going to take place at the Global Campus, UE. At French's, that's at 7 p.m. And then on the 22nd, Where Your Heritage, again, public-private sector showcase. Really, you just wear your heritage. And people will come out decked. And I can see the spiritual Baptist religion folks who they're decked in the heritage. And then on the 23rd, we have the big Idol Fest happening at Arnorsville, starting at 10 a.m. And that's all day. That's Saturday, 23rd of August, the big Idol Fest. And it's happening at Arnorsville. As soon as they turn to go into the Arnorsville Stadium on the left, that spot on the left, as soon as they go through the gate on the left, that's where that's going to take place. And we're going to have Aidisha, as we said, on the 17th. She's coming in to give a lot more details on that festival. And then on the 28th of August, Gospel Limits is going to take place. Gospel Limits 2025, and it's going to take place at the Faith Temple Church, starting at 7 p.m. And that's up in Montrose. Gospel Limits, interesting coining of the term.
Gospel Olympics.
Yes, Olympics, not Limits. Olympics, yes. Gospel Olympics. Yeah, interesting. Gospel Olympics. I wonder why Olympics. Any hazard? Can you hazard against pigeon? Olympics.
Well,
Something like
maybe I have to
sports.
do the.
But that's taking place at 7 at the Faith Temple Church. So it couldn't be sports. Anyway, Gospel Olympics is taking place on the 28th at the Faith Temple Church, starting at 7 p.m. And on the 29th, we have Wear Your Heritage again, public-private sector for showcase. And is that, you notice that's Where Your Heritage is taking place. It's featured every Friday in August, really. So when you go to work, you wear you show off, wear your heritage. Whichever form, pants, shirts, whatever, but wear your heritage. And then on the 30th, Emancipation Road Rally, street food fair, and that's taking place at Diamond Village, starting from 8 a.m. Again, that's Diamond Village out in country, out in next San Lucia area out there. Emancipation Road Rally Street Fair. Okay, that's an interesting one, starting at 8 a.m. And we're going to jump into September, still a Friday from September. The folks decide that it's going to be a good thing, September 5. So again, wear your heritage. And that's a message going out to public and private sector. To everybody. Just wear on those Fridays, from Friday gone, which was the first two, including Friday 8th coming up, Friday 15th coming up, Friday 22nd coming up, Friday 29th coming up, and then into September 5th. Wear your heritage. That'd be something like a good spectacle to see all of Kingston workers coming out on a Friday, coming out in their what they consider to be their heritage. And if you have any doubt, just check any spiritual Baptist person. Certainly in the case of Gecko, there are a number of people who usually deck down in the heritage, so they could check them. Yeah, Pigeon. So that's the month, Pigeon.
I noticed we didn't highlight today, the 3rd, which is supposed to be the climax of the Emancipation.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Emancipation Cricket Festival climax is today.
Yeah, they just barely mentioned it at the at the beginning. And that is why, Pigeon, I've asked Minister James if he could call in, and I expect him to call in, and perhaps if he's listening, he can call us anytime now. This would be appropriate time. And then also, following that, I've asked Captain Williams, the man who claims that his team will win. And when he calls in, I have a present for him. So when he calls, I'll tell him what the present's all about. We hope that they would call in, Pigeon, to talk, give a lot of details about what's happening tonight at Honorsville Sports Stadium. So that's where we are. And in the meantime, until we hear from any of those folks, Pigeon, we could open up now to our listeners, or if you want to.
I'd like us to open up and throw out a question at the same time.
All right.
Let our listeners say to us what the period really mean to them.
Yes.
What is it of any significance? Is it just another holiday? Have you been reflecting at all on what it really means to be free?
Mm-hmm.
And what it means to have gone through, our ancestors having gone through what they went through.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to suggest that more be done in terms of history, the teaching of history in our classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
History is done, but I don't think it is satisfactory in terms of the extent to which it is done in our schools. And some of these issues, the extent to which they're brought up, and explode in the classroom.
Just want to give an update while we wait for our calls to come in, Pigeon, that first of all, the promise of those t-shirts, the promise was fulfilled between Council General Huggins and myself. We were able to pay for 50 t-shirts, which were, we know that they were distributed to players across the 4 teams. So I just want to let people know that. Yeah. While we are waiting, we have a first call now, Pigeon. Hi, Kojo. Greetings and welcome to the program.
Good morning, good morning. Happy Emancipation Day to you, brothers.
Same to you.
Yeah, well, emancipation means 2 things for me. It's the freedom of my people and the day that I entered this earth. So that's both of them wrapped up in one.
So double celebration for you.
Yes, I'm a double.
Okay.
And I wanted to tell I know it's African wearing this. I left something for Kwame. I think that's the name you was probably trying to
Yes,
get to.
Kwame, of course,
earlier.
Kwame, of course.
Right. So I left him something by Phil, which is an African shirt, so he could go and get it, so he could dress up in his African gown.
Okay. I'm sure he's listening and will be very happy.
Right. Once he hear, he will go and get it. I don't know if he got it already because I left it at Phil when I was leaving.
Yes.
So I hope he hear me and he go and get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell you the truth, it's the first time I watched cricket in all my years. I have to say I really enjoy it.
Which cricket you watched? Which cricket you watched?
I watch I think it's the Whalers versus Windwards or something like that.
Yes, Emancipation Festival cricket. The reason why I ask, there are several crickets playing across the world.
Oh no.
Okay.
I was watching the one home.
Okay.
I realized how much I have missed cricket. Because I haven't watched cricket. I haven't watched cricket in years. I tell you, years. I mean, I see snippet when the news come and things like that. But to actually sit down and watch a game, that was the first time I've done that in years.
So, Kojo, what moved you? What moved you to watch it in its fullness? What moved you?
I think because it was the emancipation part of it that moved me. I wanted to see how they would embrace the team emancipation, and I wanted to see how the crowd of people, how the Vincentian population as a whole would embrace it. Because, let's not fool ourselves, there was a lot of political bickering over what should do and what should not do. And so I wanted to see
and boycott messages, boycott messages to boycott.
I was thinking, I wanted to see if people was going to embrace the cricket as a cricket, not in a political way. And I was pleased and happy to see people put aside our political genres and our political whatever it is and went and enjoy cricket as cricket and forget about who said what and who said not and whatever. And another thing again, I didn't read the article. I hope one of you probably read it so you all could discuss it. Or this article where I think is the president of cricket who wrote The Little Black Boy. Just the headline alone make me don't want to read it. Because knowing the word little black boy is kind of put a twist in my head where, I don't feel comfortable reading anything with no little black boy next to it,
So Kojo, if you didn't read it, if you didn't see it fit to read it, why you want others to read it?
I hope somebody will discuss it. So I could understand what you were talking about, but I really truly I can't get past the headline.
Okay. So who was the author? Who is the author of the article?
I think it's the president, Mr. Shallow or something like that.
He wrote it. He wrote it?
Well, yeah, I think, what it says, I think it's New St. Vincent Times, I saw it on, or One News, one of those online publication.
So it
That
was
is
a
a message, a message,
a message. Okay.
yeah, a message from Charlotte to the little black boy, which is, I
Okay.
mean,
All
that,
right. Anyway, so we
that's
won't say much.
that,
We won't say more about it. Let's move on.
okay. Yeah, but I really should tell you, and how much I enjoy my Friday cricket. I'm looking forward to today.
All right. I'm hoping to have Captain Williams call in.
Okay,
You know,
all right.
he boasts that his team is going to prevail.
It seems so to me.
That's the
I don't
Kingston
know.
Kings. Well,
I know.
you can't jump and say so. Eh? I want him to come
No,
and
no, no. I said it seems so to me. The way they perform.
okay.
I'm not saying they're going to win because nobody wins a game until the day of the game.
Exactly,
You know?
until the game is finished.
I could jump up and say the Kings, and when the Kings go, they flop. Because honestly, I thought the Whalers was going to do a better at bat. They flop like nothing.
No, they won. They're going to be in the final now. It's the Whalers, it's the Grenadines Whalers, and
They got it in Whalers.
the Grenadines Whalers and the Kingston Kings.
No, the Whalers lost the match with what, 68 runs they made?
Was that right? I didn't
69?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm misinformed then. I was watching by it.
Yeah.
So who in the
The
final?
Whalers, I can't remember who is it, but I know the Whalers for sure because I was kind of like cheering for them. And then they flop.
Okay. I think it's the Whalers in the final. The Whalers and the Kingston Kings. Anyway, we would hear from people who call us.
All right.
All right, Kojo.
Okay.
Great. I hope Kwame, I'm sorry, Kwame, that I forgot your name a while ago. I hope he picks up his t-shirt. I mean his
No, that's
his shirt. Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep making Kojo.
Yeah.
You're wrong, and I'm right. It's somebody who knows. Just sent me who will know because she's been following the matches and going to the one tonight. She says the Kings and the Whalers in the finals.
The Whalers is the one in the red. With Richie Richardson.
Richie Richardson. I am not
yeah,
sure.
Richie Richardson is the one who he run half of the pitch and stop and get stumped out.
Don't call it that game gone already, man. Don't call it again.
But I mean, it was coming out, so I had to.
And you expect a player who does that to come and win tonight?
That's what I'm talking about. I go, all right, then I go on. Even if I got my thing.
No, but hear me. Somebody who knows is saying it was somebody from the Warriors, not the Whalers.
Oh, the Warriors. That's what.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Windward.
So,
Windward Warriors. So it's the Whalers and the Kings who are in the final later on today.
All right.
So make sure.
I got it mixed up. I thought the red was Whalers.
No, I think it's the green. But make sure you look tonight.
Okay.
Make sure you follow tonight.
Yes, I'll be watching.
All right. Good. Have a good day. Yes. Interesting. And by the way, let me correct myself. I said earlier, Pigeon, that they received their T-shirts. It's not T-shirts, it's tickets. The 50 tickets that were sponsored by Council General Huggins and myself. We know that they were distributed across the 14s and persons would have got their ticket to attend. Yeah. All right. So I know I know that Captain Williams, I hope he stands by his mouth, and I hope he can call us now. In fact, let me send a message to him, telling him to call us now, because we would love to hear from him and how he expects to deliver later on this evening. Also, because last week, and I apologize, I sent a message to Rodney apologizing for not being able to have had him last week on the program. Yes, he said he was attending 2 funerals, but also, and he was going to squeeze time out to call. He did indicate that he was ready. And at the time, I couldn't accommodate him. And then it turned out that I didn't accommodate him at all. But it'd be good to have him on today. I didn't reach out to him, but I hope, Rodney, if you're listening, and anyone listening and could reach Rodney, could ask him to give us a call, to give us an update in terms of how things will be like later on today in terms of the cultural aspects of that. And somebody who received a T-shirt promised by, I think it was promised to her by Captain Williams. She got her T-shirt and she was there, and she's been there for every night. Oh, I see somebody sending me a message saying the both gentlemen are at the grounds right now. That is Captain Williams and Rodney are at the grounds at Honest Vale, putting on the final touches for later on tonight. Interesting. Yeah, but I still expect them to call in, as I'm being told that they will call in a few minutes. But I'm also expecting Minister James to call us, so I perhaps could give him an alert to tell him that if he can, this would be a good time to call us, because yeah. And we have to, and I have to, Peter, we have to congratulate the Windward Warriors, and in particular Captain Lyndon James, for having won last night. They did well, but not. It's a pity they didn't do like that when they played the first match, but they did well last night. His team did well, and we congratulate him and his team for having won last night. So they would occupy the 3rd place in the festival. They would occupy the 3rd place. All right. So again, we are inviting callers. If you wish to share in how you see emancipation, as Pijan indicated, if you could tell us how you see the significance of emancipation and what you yourself did to celebrate the anniversary this time around. And again, you recall it was the 187th anniversary of emancipation that we're talking about. And we just gave a reminder of how it would have been for those souls who were captured, brought here to the Caribbean and forced under whip and guns and dogs and all of that to work for the enslavers and to enrich them, and how that form of exploitation continues today, even in our cricket. And what we are doing to fight back and to resist. And what we need to do more more of what we need to do to turn completely, to continue the struggle and to kind of turn things in our favor, under our control, under our management, in the interest of our fuller emancipation, and on our behalf, really. Yeah, so the number to call is 457-9997, and that would take us to the WhatsApp number, as well as this. If you straight, you can call us there via WhatsApp, or you can call us straight, 457-9997. That's the fixed line, and also the WhatsApp number, if you wish to call us. Or you can call us 532-9997, same number, basically. That's if you call in via cell phone. In the meantime, there are one or two calls, there are one or two messages, really two messages that I wish to read. And this person saying, morning, no disrespect. I think that all that needed to be said is that Joel will not be on the program. Fine, okay. Okay. I think it was not necessary to say, well, all right. Thank you, my friend. You don't need to tell me how to express myself either. And then he says, the colonizer will be exploiting the black man through cricket. We didn't see it then. We thought they loved watching us play cricket. Yeah, well, those points were made certainly by the legend, one of the legends. In fact, all of them made a point last evening. Okay, and then this person is saying here, we've read that message already from Consul General. And then we spoke with Kojo, who informed us that he's having a double celebration, Emancipation Day and his own birthday. All right, so yes, the number to call is 457-9997, and you could call us straight via that number, the fixed line that is, or you can call us via, and that's the same WhatsApp number, so you can call that number to get us via WhatsApp as well.
Have the games been attracting any crowds?
Well, interesting that you say that. From what I've been watching, the crowds have not been to the extent of the Cricket West Indies crowd when they came here played last year, but they had a fairly representative crowd on both nights. And also, while I was watching that game, I was also monitoring the Cricket West Indies game that is being held in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And really, there was no comparison in the sense that Emancipation Festival crowd was much larger than the Fort Lauderdale. And I couldn't believe it, but it's the case. Persons who are watching could testify. If you don't, go back and look at them and see. But what was more significant, Pigeon, is the fact that Flo carried the games here in St. Vincent's. And my understanding from yesterday when I was attending that roundtable discussion, it was mentioned by the moderator that the following on TV on both nights was over 1 million viewers. That to me is significant in a number of ways, but mainly in the sense that, well, they saw Emancipation Festival of Cricket in St. Vincent, that's yes. But beyond cricket is the fact that over 1 million viewers were being told, they were hearing about St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a place of niceness, a place of happiness. And that's what they were saying. And it means, to me, it means a lot for our tourism. And it means a lot for the spreading of our culture and all of that. But over a million viewers is a significant number. And it's what, in my view, I know that the PM said in response to a question from one of our radio stations, that he couldn't tell the exact number in terms of the cost, but he said from the figure that he saw, he put it at $750,000, and that's EC dollars. And if that's the case, and people across the world, across the globe, were able to see a million people, and over, from what I was hearing, over a million people were able to watch the Flow broadcast. That to me is a big number, and it's what that alone to me is worth every penny of $750,000. People would know. People, especially who live in North America, would know if you were to able to do one ad, and I don't know how long in the Super Bowl. That kind of money is never, you spend many millions more than that, So to be able to do a broadcast featuring St. Vincent and the Grenadines, its culture, its cricket, and so on and so forth, that to me is a big thing. So yes, Pijan, whereas I expected a larger crowd at Honestfield, and I expect there will be a larger crowd tonight. But certainly from the point of view of the coverage globally of the broadcast of the game, we came off, meaning the country came off big time. And it's one of the questions I want to have a reaction from the minister if he calls in, just to see how he feels about that. But that certainly that's the figure that was given yesterday afternoon when I attended that roundtable discussion. The moderator did say. And we have a call now, so we can go back to the line. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Good morning.
Yes, hold on. Just let me turn this on.
Sure.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Ms. Harold. Greetings.
According to... Are you hearing me clearly, by the way?
We are hearing you, yes. But there's a little beep, but we're hearing you.
All right. But, there's a kind of an echo coming back to me. So I don't know how long I stay because there's a noise when it happens like that. Anyhow, according to Chambers History Fact Finders, which was printed in 2005, there are some facts noted in it that I thought would be of interest to listeners. 1503, the slave trade is brought into being by the Portuguese when they proceeded to take slaves from Africa and take them to Brazil, their South American colony. In 1518, the Spanish started the slave trade to their colonies in Hispaniola. In 1616, the British colonies in the United States started bringing in their slave trade into the United States. In 1672, the English started their slave trade into the Caribbean colonies. In 1804, the Danes took their no, that's not right. Oh boy, I shifted my things anyhow. Anyhow, in the 1804,
we have time, so take your time. We have time. Take your time.
Not all. You'll be surprised how time disappears. In 1804, the Danes were the first to abolish slavery. In 1807, the British made the trading of slaves illegal. In 1808, the U.S. bans the slave trade into the United States. In 1818, the French bans the slavery. In 1820, Spain bans the slave trade. In 1833, the British abolished slavery in their colonies, in any one of their colonies that they owned. In 1845, France abolished slavery into their colonies. In 1865, total abolishment of slavery, the total abolition of slavery into any country at all was decided by the Portuguese to finally give up slavery into Brazil. They were the last to do it in 1865, long after the others. No. It is in 1888 that Brazil finally gave up slavery, long after the others. In 1787, they abolished slavery. Wilberforce in England had a very strong following, and he carried on till the British had to agree to abolish slavery. And that is in 1787, he had this freedom of movement in England. In 1791, Toussaint Louverture, he does the impossible, and he defeats the French and kicks them out of Haiti. He's the only black person that ever won a battle with a white person. That man, Toussaint Louverture. But finally, it all came in 1834, I think, 1833. Is when they decided to give us slavery here. That is what you were reading in the beginning, Mr.
Yes. In the newspaper, the Centre Square.
Right. See,
Well, the act was passed in the British Parliament in 1833.
Yeah.
And it took effect.
And the British were kicking up a stink long before then, since this thing started about the slave trade. They couldn't stand it, and they wanted it abolished out of England totally. Anyhow, but when you're talking, oh, by the way, it is amazing too that in the 1700s, the slave trade was taken over by the French, the Dutch, the Danes, the Swedes, and England.
Mm-hmm.
That way in the 1700s, they're the one that kept it on and on and on. I didn't even realize the Swedish people that Sweden had things in slave trade.
Well, they saw where the wealth, how to generate wealth, and that is why many of them are still have roots. They're still in Africa because they know that's the source of wealth.
Well, what started off the slave trade actually was they had all been going to discovering lands all over the world, going to different places all over the world, settling in. But do you think that white people could have gone into Africa and picked up black people and take them back to boat and say you're a slave? They had to have paid people they worked with.
Oh yeah, they must have.
They had collaborators.
They must have had collaborators.
Pick up the black people and bring them in.
Yeah, but they must have had collaborators. But the bottom line is those collaborators even they were enticed by whatever they use, money. The offer of guns and so on and so forth.
It has to be the black people who pick them up and brought them in.
Yeah. But in any society where you have offers such as money, guns, and it's happening today. It's happening today. Even where you have offers like guns and money and other things they use.
Terrible thing. We don't live in a very nice world at all.
Yeah, right. So people went for that, and they had their own local collaborators. I mean, the enslavers, they have their own. It was a business for them. It was a business for them.
It was a business for them.
Yeah.
Everything is a business. Everything was money. Yeah. Anyhow, that was there. I just thought I'd give a little rundown of how the slave trade was operating in the world at the time.
Nice.
And by the way, Gary Funa was not a tribe in St. Vincent. And I don't know why I resent you all saying it, but I try
you
hard
have
not
to appreciate. But hold on, Miss Harold.
Tribe called Gary Funa in St. Vincent. None. Never will.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this, and I hope you'd appreciate it. You may, in your view, they were not a tribe, but they played a significant role in the resistance against enslavement and colonialism, and they played a pivotal role in our achieving emancipation or for parents.
When did they do that, Mr. Ryan?
When you may not recognize and agree, but when Joseph Chatoué led the struggles and the wars against the battles against the British colonizers.
But why have I never read about it? Why have Vincentians never read about that?
No. Vincentians have read.
Don't know anything about a person called Garifuna.
Vincentians have read that His Excellent Joseph Chatoué has played a pivotal role, and in fact, he gave his life. He lost his life in battle against enslavement, and it's documented.
Right, he was a black Carib.
Well, it's the black Caribs who are called Garifunas.
No, they were not. Garifuna people come from Central America. That name is totally unknown in St. Vincent. Right. I do not understand why people keep on telling me about Garifuna people. Garifuna is more likely because they have. Anyhow, let me get off your air because I just.
No, it's not. It's all of our airs. I mean, air.
All right,
the program belongs to all of us.
Mr. Ryan, take it from me. There was never ever anybody in St. Vincent called Garifuna. Never ever ever were they in St. Vincent. Just take it from me. I don't know where you all found it. I don't know where you read it. But if you all keep on saying it, somebody will have to step forward one day and correct it once again in the history annals. All anyway, right. Go on. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Are you following the cricket?
Yes, I am.
What do you think of it?
Can't wait to get the final match tonight.
But what do you think of it so far, though?
Well, I was a little disappointed last night because I thought that they had got to this Mr. What's his name? The first person who was bowling. Richards? No.
I don't remember.
What is his name?
I don't remember which. You mean the first? No, I don't remember his name. I don't.
Yeah, but he made. I was sorry he didn't get a 50. He disappointed me when it came to that one.
I wonder if you're talking about.
The match was quite entertaining.
Yes.
Okay then. Thank you.
Yes. All right then. Good. Thanks for calling. She's able to watch them. Okay, so okay, we have another call here. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Ryan.
This voice sounds like Rodney himself, the pan man.
Yeah, I was on the field setting up for the Legends ceremony.
Oh, okay.
So I got the message from Consul General Huggins.
Right.
I just jumped in the vehicle.
Great.
Yeah.
So how things look for later?
Pretty good. Once we hoping that the weather would be on our side. Mm-hmm. But we are just changing over things at the venue because tonight is the finals and there are a lot of things that are in place. Mm-hmm. Outside of the cricket matches, it's going to be a historic moment where we're going to be honoring the legends, okay. Handing over plaques to them, the reveal of the sign that is now in their names, and of course,
Rodney, the sign on the double decker. What?
Yeah, but for tonight, it's not going to be on the double decker.
Okay.
It's going to be in an area where we're going to do the reveal, and then because to put it in place, it would take approximately about a week.
Yes.
So we don't want to
use crane and all of that to get up there.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
But we saw the importance of doing a nice reveal.
Yes.
That the general public can see what it looks like before it actually goes on to the stand.
Okay. So a stand will be named in honor of the legends.
Yes, please. The double decker stand.
Okay.
The one where Rodney's group talk drums.
Where Jumbo is.
Jumbo, that's what it's called.
Yeah, Jumbo, okay. The Jumbo family.
Oh, the Jumbo family.
Yeah,
my apologies.
Yeah. So we it is a historic moment, and it's a moment that is that we all should feel proud about. So we're doing some final touches with the setup of that area. And making sure that the sign is up and the reveal is ready. and the plaques and the stamps and all these things, so that that could be something that we all can embrace and cherish for years to come.
All right. So what time does the program actually start today? Is it?
The program starts at 6. So we have the cultural elements, because we're still celebrating emancipation.
Yes.
We have some drumming from the Rose Hall drummers. We have some steel pan, a lot of acoustic performances to usher people into the venue.
Okay.
So we have Epic Song Steel Orchestra and the Rose Hall drummers, who will be doing the cultural aspect of the entertainment to get persons settled. And then about 6:35, we're going to go into the toss of the teams. And then after 6:35, we go back to Epic, and the teams will enter onto the field, and then the match will start. And then directly after the first innings, which would take us to about 8:25, once all goes well, and then we'd go straight into the legend ceremony, where you would see the tokens, the handing over the tokens, the stamps, the plaques, and then you're gonna hear some brief remarks from the Honorable Prime Minister, a photo op, and then we go back into the second innings of the match. And then directly after that, we do the award ceremony with entertainment.
Okay. Rodney, is any other stand besides the double-decker stand? Any other stand will be dedicated?
No. Initially, there was conversation about conversation with Mr. Winston Davis about naming one of the stands, but he's so humble that he said that he don't want all of that. There was a particular something he wants in particular in terms of a booklet in honor of his name and stuff like that. But the naming of the stand, he really didn't want that. He was very much humble with just a booklet or a pamphlet with something with in honor of his name.
Okay.
So the only stand that would be named is the legend stand, which is the double-decker stand now.
Mm-hmm. In terms of the cultural part of the thing, you named Epic will be performing. Any other outstanding, out front kind of artists?
Yeah, indeed. We have Keith Currency, who would be there, on the younger side. We have Kenny Montana. Keith Currency, Kenny Montana.
Is he the son of Marshall Montana?
Kennaz.
Montana?
No, the son of Kennaz.
Okay, sorry, I'm just putting you.
Well, you could say that he probably has some of that in him because, he's been doing a lot of great work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And of course, our featured artist for today would be Problem Child, who would be doing a lot of the bulk of the entertainment in there before persons go home and all the celebration. So we have Kenny Montana, we have Chow Minister, and we have Keith Currency and Problem Child, who would be taking us home with some nice energy after such a historic moment.
Okay. I could see
and the drummer family would be throughout. The rhythm section would be throughout the match. Yeah.
That's for me, that is the most exciting part of the festival, eh? The Jumbo family and the rhythm and the drumming, it's quite outstanding. Quite outstanding.
Yeah.
That's
it's nice.
Yes.
Outside of what is happening today, we've had an extremely good 4 days, especially from the entertainment side and of course sports. Entertainment and sports always go very well. One thing that we are very happy about is that the entertainers can have an opportunity for a better phrase, could eat a food, or get the opportunity to keep performing, because sometimes after Carnival, we really don't get to see them performing. So, that is also a plus for us here in the entertainment industry, because there's quite a number of entertainers we booked over the 4-day period. So it's really a good vibe to see that we are able to create that marriage between sports and entertainment so smoothly.
So they would be able to benefit from that $750,000 estimate as the cost?
Tremendously.
Okay.
Tremendously. And the Minister of Culture ensure that we have enough entertainers who can benefit, from the economic activities from that particular figure. By right, it's a business for them. And I think our mandate and our responsibility is to make sure that we can keep the industry going. And I mean, we have seen all walks of the industry, not just entertainment, but in terms of the overall creative and cultural industries coming alive, and the sporting industry also. And it's just a good feeling to see that. I mean, much persons were alarming about the figure, but I mean, it is a recycling of the money staying here. I mean, majority of the persons who are engaged or hired here are Vincentians. I mean, when they get paid, they have to go to the supermarket. And I mean, they have to patronize the sectors, the business sector here in St. Vincent and Grenadines. So, I mean, I am happy to see that everybody could be able to work. You also have vendors who are making quite a number of money, a good bit of money too.
Well, in fact, sorry to cut you, Rodney. I was going to ask about the vendors. Is there high presence of vendors?
Yeah, all the stands have vendors, and then the Department of Culture, led by Maxine Brown, we have a craft village where I literally saw persons going and buy stuff from the craft village. So I mean, it's a win-win situation for everybody who's a part of it. And I mean, all these stands have vendors, bar and food in majority of these stands, and of course the party stand. There's also a bar there. So I mean, it's just a nice from that angle. In terms of the economic opportunities and activities that are happening throughout the 4 days. I mean, we even had to tell some vendors that we just don't have any more space, because I remember when the Tourism Authority put out the application, it's about approximately 30 persons applied. And I mean, so, you know, I mean, and having conversation with the minister, these are the sort of things that we want to encourage. And I know he's been talking about it in terms of festival tourism. I mean, festivals as a whole, not just for regional and international patrons, but even for, say, as a society locally. I mean, in terms of these little weekend festivals and what they can do and the benefits of them, is something that we truly need to embrace. And that's how we're going to get all the different sectors working. I mean, this weekend was mainly sports and culture, but it is a domino effect because, you know what I mean, security have to come into play, health have to come into play, media have to come into play, protocol have to come into play, hospitality, because outside of the vendors who are selling, we also have caterers who have to cater for the players, have to cater for the production team, have to cater for your invitees, have to cater for the same legends, right? So it's really keeping the different sectors alive, and I'm hoping that we're going to go straight into independence with the same energy.
Before you get into independence, let me ask you: have you been able to interact, or to what extent, I should say, have you been able to interact with any of the legends?
I have not got the opportunity because of where I'm working in terms of production. When they're actually doing the round table, I'm actually moving on to another setup because, you know, it's multiple things happening at different times. Okay. So I really didn't get the opportunity to personally get to interact with them because, again, moving to venues, to different production setup, I really didn't get the time to sit down. I actually was supposed to be going to a luncheon that they're having today, but I am actually at the venue here trying to get things ready for later for them when we're doing the handing over ceremony.
Okay. Don't go ahead. I see Kojo was trying to come in on another line.
Right.
I didn't take the call, but Kojo, can he call now? I don't know if he has any question for you or any particular thing. So don't leave. Yes.
Right. So the point I was making, Mr. Ryan, was basically on the aspect of festival tourism and pushing festivals. That's why I said directly after this particular festival, we're going to continue with all of these summer stuff that is happening and then start preparing for independence, which is another high season for all these economic opportunities and activities for our people, right? So I'm saying, you know, that is really where we are now and what we have to continue to encourage. I mean, because, there are persons who are now going to try to make investment in doing apartments and smaller boutique hotels, but a lot of their concern is to make sure that we have things that are happening so persons can come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? So that's why I was mentioning the back-to-back festivals and activities that are going to be happening.
Rodney, when I attended the wrong table discussion yesterday. When I was there, the moderator said that through Flow, they were able to determine that over 1 million people followed the boat matches. Are you aware of that figure? have you been
Yeah,
told?
I'm very much aware from that figure, from the investigation that was done, and I wouldn't doubt it, because even on Facebook, social media, and YouTube, we saw those numbers, and if persons can go back and look at the streaming numbers from those platforms, right? I mean, Flow would have accurate numbers from their platform, but I mean, a lot of eyes were on the cricket, and I know tonight in particular, we're going to see more people looking at it, because I mean, when we look at the comments and what persons are saying in terms of we honoring these legends, it's just really a good feeling to see that we can take the lead as a country to do something like this. And I wouldn't doubt it. I got that report also, and I'm looking at the social media and I'm seeing those sort of numbers. I mean, from just the simple online streaming.
What do you think? How do you look at those numbers? What do you think they mean for the country, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and in particular, the tourism aspect of the? Oh,
it means a whole lot. As I said in one of the production briefing, is that all eyes are now on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and you can feel it, Mr. Ryan. And I think we as a country, as a nation, need to pay very close attention to that and be mindful of what we are doing and what we are saying and the narrative that we are putting out there, because all eyes are literally on St. Vincent when we look at what happened in Carnival and when we look at what is happening now. Because I could tell you, I went to the airport on Wednesday and I saw a lot of people who were coming in just for this, and some left yesterday, some are leaving today, some are leaving next Wednesday.
When
right?
you say
So
coming in just for this, what do you mean?
They came just for the 4 days cricket.
Oh,
like
I see.
I
Okay,
literally was at the airport on Wednesday, and there are persons who came just to be a part of it. And literally, it's just interaction I was having. I was like, hey, how come you they like friends? I was like, we come to take in some of the cricket and the entertainment. I mean, so in a nutshell, those numbers mean a lot to us. It means that we also have to look at our marketing, and I know the Tourism Authority is working very closely with looking at the narratives and what we're pushing out there, and especially during this time. So if persons are looking at the live coverage, you would see we are putting out a destination ads inside there, so persons can understand, I mean, what is happening, where's St. Vincent, right? And then we have even persons on the streaming platform who are eagle eyes. So if there are persons who are asking questions about St. Vincent, we have somebody who would quickly comment about, St. Vincent, or based on the question that you're asking. And that's the type of thing that we have to continue doing. And even tonight, we are going to be posting some other things that are going to encourage persons to come over for independence or independence celebration on our 9 mornings, because we now have the eyes of 1 million people, or we now have the eyes of 100,000 people. And I mean, we have to now move all of that viewers into a practical space, where you're now seeing things, and now we're now inviting you to come. And when you come, this is what we have to offer. If you understand. So it is all fine to say we have 1 million views, but what do we do with that 1 million views is very important. How do we capture that? You know what I mean? So, the Tourism Authority and their team have been working closely with looking at these things. You know what I mean? And even the APIs and the VC3, they also have been capturing these moments and seeing how we can work on that data, moving it from just viewers and then moving it into a practical space. Right?
Rodney, I'm sorry to cut you, but I have sent a message to Keswick asking him to call now. Because I want him to call earlier on so we could kind of talk back and forth.
We were just both in the same space, so I guess you will see the message shortly.
Well, right? I just sent him the message. If you see him, just in case, just motion to him that he should be calling now. Yes, but go ahead now.
Yeah, no problem. It's very important that we utilize these numbers, right, in terms of these viewers and making them a reality in terms of getting the numbers here. Because what we have to understand, and I know people would like to get political and what's that, and that's fine. My thing is now, if Simmons is on a high, right? Simmons is on a high, and we have been on a high, right? But it is climbing even further, because coming off of the early part of this year, attention that the country has been getting, and then going into Carnival from that attention, and now this cricket, and then now, of course, most definitely we're moving into independence. We have to see how we capitalize on these things. How do we capitalize on providing for the persons who are now going to come to our shows? How do we capitalize on our products? If you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I'm following you. And by the way, Rodney, could you ask if you see Keswick, ask him to call WhatsApp, because you're on the fixed line. You're on the straight line right now.
Okay, let me.
We can. I'll send him a message, but we can accommodate him on the WhatsApp. But go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's basically, I mean, it would be a waste for us to have all that attention and you use it to the best of our advantage. Now, we also have to be mindful that, I mean, the room space is a challenge. And I mean, because even I went down to Sanders on Friday. I was doing a private gig there, and when I look at the occupancy at Sanders, I was just amazed. You understand? And even the smaller hotels, they also have persons in them. And I personally going to sit very closely with the Minister of Tourism to see how we can continue to do stuff like this. So we don't want it to be a one-off Emancipation Festival only, but we have to look at what is going to happen in October, what is going to happen in November, December, what is going to happen in what we call our off-season, January, February, what is happening there, because now we have the attention. Everybody won't be able to come for August. Everybody won't be able to come for October. But we have to look at the different seasons, and then we are going into a very heavy tourist month, a tourist season, which is from November to about March, May next year. I mean, so there's a lot of things that we have to put in place swiftly. I mean, the attention is there, and I am grateful that, I mean, we have a working Minister of Tourism and his entire ministry. So, I mean, so yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling.
It's a great
feeling. Nevertheless, we actually, I mean, the games tonight is $10. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I know it's really about the mood of the people and not so much about the profit. I mean, and really being able to again create that opportunity, that economic and opportunity and activities. I mean, the cricketers are feeling good. I mean, I passed through the players' pavilion one at a time, and just their mood and the excitement to be able to play on this level. Is really mind blowing. I mean, and just the general patrons around the park. I mean, and being able to celebrate Emancipation Month and creating that marriage, because we had a lot of other activities throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in Diamonds, in Georgetown, the different drum circles, the different wakes. I mean, so I think it really shines some light on the whole month of activities for Emancipation. There's some things that we have to obviously tweak and tighten up, and then of course the actual matches of the cricket, the entertainment, the sports. I mean, I even saw people who I haven't saw in a while coming out to the matches. So, I mean, it's really to keep the mood and the vibe of the people up. I mean, I think those were one of the, that was really one of the major objectives. And as we're doing that, we're also preparing for Kyrie Festa, Mr. Ryan.
where you guys finding time?
Yeah,
for all of these, and you in particular, for all of these activities. I appreciate it. It means that you have to manage your time properly.
Yeah,
and
it shows. It's our job, you know what I mean? It's our job to serve the people of this country. I mean, and you know, there are a lot of talk, but we also need a lot of doers. You know,
that's important.
But nevertheless, I mean, we are working. I'm working on lots of great people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, especially young people, Mr. Ryan. Mm-hmm. I have to put that there because we have a lot of young volunteers who are working at the cricket. Okay. And particularly a lot of them is from the North Leeward area. And I said to the minister, I'm not trying to be political, I mean, but I am proud to see that the bulk of the people who are volunteering and the bulk of the people who are working in production is actually from the North Leeward area. Sometimes, you know, we tend to be so centralized in terms of production teams and technical teams and not really venturing into the rural areas and the rural communities to find this sort of support system. But when I saw the briefing with the with all the volunteers and the people who work in production, and the bulk of them was from the North Leeward area, that is something that we have to highlight. I mean, I said it to him personally. So, I mean, it shows that our industries are growing, but we have to make sure that we maintain them and then we give them the resources that they need and give them opportunities like this. I mean, so I don't want us to go to sleep after this festival. Right? We have to keep the machinery going and what's not. But yeah, it's a giveaway, $10. The T-shirts have been going quickly too. I never see people rush to buy T-shirts, so especially for the Kingston Kings, which is my team, you know.
No bias. No bias.
But
that's all right,
you know,
because I'm going with the Whalers, so you could go
with the Whalers.
Yes.
All right. No way, Leon is there, eh?
I know. If
But
I'm going to
I also want,
go ahead.
I want to just highlight something personal because I
Yes.
think you asked it about meeting the legends.
Yes.
And I mean, growing up hearing about Nixon McLean and Cameron Coffey and these guys. But Nixon McLean is one of the persons on the committee. And every time I sit with him and I talk with him and, you know, he's showing me some of the ropes, not just only with cricket, because I think he's in a management position at the park.
Yes.
I mean, it's just a great feeling at one time. I said, boy, this is a great Nixon McLean I'm sitting next to and being able to have a conversation and learn so much from him within the past 2-3 weeks that we've been working together. And I mean, him being a coach, I think he's a coach for the Windward team, Windward Warriors, and I don't even know the name. Right? And it's really a good feeling to know as young people we can be able to sit among these great living legends and being able to learn so much from them and given the opportunity to do so. So that is my personal takeaway. I mean, even Keswick, I'm older than Keswick, but being able to work along with him and hearing his knowledge about cricket. Sometimes you see him on the field, yes, he can play, but being able to sit down and hear his mind and how passionate he is about the game, it's just really a great feeling to know that, I mean, legends are not only old people. You understand like how we put it, but being able to sit in with Keswick and all of the other cricketers who are on the committee. Because, I mean, I saw a person saying who was on the committee. The committee has a balance of actual cricketers, people who know cricket, and, of course, people from production and entertainment. And as I said, for me, sitting in with Nixon McLean and sitting in with Keswick and learning so much from them and seeing that they're right in front of me and not something I have to read. I mean, it's really a great feeling because we spoke about the other legends that we're going to honor. I didn't get the opportunity because of being busy. But just sitting and working with Nixon McLean and Keswick and hearing what is in their heads, it's just a great feeling for me personally.
Well, Keswick was on the program last week, as you may have heard. But I was so impressed with his level of analysis. It's really deep in terms of his knowledge and his thinking on cricket and how to improve cricket in the Caribbean generally. I was very impressed, and that is why I was very, very impressed. I've said that to so many different people. But you know, by the way, a person with whom I'm very impressed, that impressed me a lot, is we didn't talk about the broadcast. Is the person is Stacey? I don't remember her last name. She's on the broadcast.
She's commentary.
Commentary, yes. She, in my view, she's better than all I've heard those who come across who broadcast with West Indies cricket. I'm telling you, she's clear, she's concise, and she's a great analyst of but just period. And she's very knowledgeable. In case you see her, I don't know if she'll be there, but tell her I am impressed with that young lady. She's good.
I would tell her. And she's working alongside Andrew from Barbados. And getting that opportunity, you know.
But even looking at her or listening to her on the same platform as Andrew, I'm telling you, she's there.
Yeah,
she's good.
Yeah.
Her name is Stacey Adams. Somebody just listening to me and gave me the name.
We went to school together, and I was also impressed with her growth. She went to Bishop College, the best school in this country.
Okay, but I can see from our I can't doubt that from our broadcast, No, I'm serious, Rodney. I'm very critical of these things and people, but I just wanted to know I'm so impressed with her, and she don't flaunt it. She's just there, calm, collected, and she's just delivering. She's good.
Yeah. I mean, and I just want to put this plug. The entire technical and broadcast team, the leadership of it is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have Andrew and his team from Barbados who came to help to do some gap filling. And these are things that we have to be proud about. I mean, when I look at the API team and the VC3 team and the Embassy Radio team coming together, and just, if you look at that command center, when I walk in that, I could not believe it's St. Vincent I'm in, because I go to other countries and see command centers set up like this. And when I ask the question, majority of the equipment are from here in St. Vincent.
All right.
I mean, so Rodney, the investment that,
Hold a minute. I'm taking a WhatsApp call. Sure. Don't go off. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Hi. Good morning.
Morning.
It's Keswick here.
Oh, Keswick. The man himself.
The captain of the best team in the world.
Well, hold on. You can't get whale in Kingston, you know. You got to go Grenadines for whale.
Yeah, you gotta go Grenadines for that. And I don't think they could swim from Grenadines come up today. They can't swim come up today.
What happened? The channel gone dry? The channel gone dry?
No, the channel going down Grenadines. They gotta stay down. They might reach down Grenada because they might blow away.
Miss Captain Williams.
Yes.
I have a special delivery to make to you later on.
Let
me tell you, my sister makes the best hot pepper sauce anywhere on this planet.
Okay.
And I have asked her to make, to prepare a special emancipation portion that you will need to put on the grass and whatever else you got to be eating.
So I by you saying that, I know where your support lies. But what happened?
Yes, go ahead.
Just like yourself and the minister.
Yes.
I will keep that grass. It goes spoiling all the fridge because it won't be eaten.
You sure?
Yes, man. It will be spoiling in all the fridge.
All right. Well, tell us what we should expect when we come there later on.
Well, first thing, we're expecting a good crowd in. Anticipating that people are gonna come out and support the Emancipation Cricket Festival. So far over the weekend, I think we have done well in terms of people responding to this cricket, and trust me, this is only gonna get better. What we're expecting a few of the national players to come back to the who were in St. Lucia playing for St. Vincent, in that Windward Island senior men's tournament. So those guys who are coming back was a part of the Grenadine Whalers and the Kings team would be playing tonight. So we're making special reservation for those guys so that they will be participating in the Emancipation Cricket Festival.
Okay. Well, I'm so sorry. I tried to reach out to Captain Warrican, but he's unable to be on. But Rodney could speak for Captain Warrican, Rodney, he's gone. Sounds like he's gone. All right. Anyway, so yes. I think Rodney's gone. So yes, Captain Williams.
Yes.
You're saying that some of the players who are out would be playing tonight? Is that what you're saying? They'll be playing for the...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the national players who left to do national duties in St. Lucia, the Windward Island senior men tournament.
Yes.
We are gonna make sure that the team that they were selected for before they travel, they can participate tonight, which is about at least 2 players.
Okay.
So I think for the Whalers, it would be Asif Hooper and Anthony Lewis. And for Kings, it would be Tijon Pope and Desmond Maloney. So those 4 guys, we're going to make a special effort to get them involved in the game. So they would be playing in the game tonight. So that is really a good look for us.
But
that national players would be participating.
Are they batters or bowlers or both?
So Tijon Pope is an all-rounder, very fine all-rounder who played in the Windward Island tournament. Desmond Maloney, probably one of the most successful captains ever in VPL, winning 3 championships. Asif Hooper, who is the captain of the St. Vincent team, who just participated in the Windward Island senior men tournament, and Anthony Lewis, an off spinner and one who can strike the ball well. Usually do that in the VPL. So those 4 guys will be back today. They land around after 1 or so. So they have enough time to rest, relax, and get themselves ready for our Emancipation Cricket Festival finals.
So you expect a big crowd tonight?
Well, I'm expecting more crowd than last night. It's the finals, and I expect a lot of people would come out. I think I saw a post. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I saw a post regarding the boat schedules being changed to accommodate the people coming from the Grenadines to come up to watch the game. So if that is the case, if I read right, I expect that people from the Grenadines would be coming up to support the Grenadine Whalers.
Okay. Have you had a chance? What is it like, your interaction with players who have come in to be on each of the teams? Have you had a chance to interact with them?
Yeah. They're loving it, and some of these players actually played in the VPL before. Some of them never traveled here to play cricket, and when they saw the crowd response and everybody here, they feel so good to be a part of this activity, and everybody is like, listen, you guys need to do this annually. And apart from doing it annually, I want to come here for VPL. I want to be a part of VPL. I want to be a part of this whole festivity. And we love the response that people are giving to cricket here. We love the energy. We love the vibes. We love St. Vincent. Actually, some of the guys left today to go down to Beckway to enjoy Beckway with the Grenadine fans. So really and truly, the guys are loving St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that is what we want to do, because we're not just trying to play cricket. We're trying to put tourism a part of it as well. It's sports tourism. It's a way of advertising St. Vincent to the Caribbean, to the world, and let people know that, listen, we are a prime destination when it comes to people from different parts of the world looking to vacation in different places in the Caribbean. So we're making sure that we market St. Vincent in the right way. And that is a avenue for it.
Captain Williams, have you had a chance to interact with any of the legends?
Yes, I did. Yesterday we had a chat with the legends, with the youths who came by to have a bit of a conversation with them, and the interaction was good. I was actually really happy that the youngsters, they asked a lot of questions, and no question is stupid questions, and they were happy to answer. They were happy to share, what they went through when they were playing, after they play, and all of that. So it's good to see that the legends are here, because this is what you want. The reason why a lot of people are pulling away.
I think we just lost Keswick. Maybe
Now that they're here, a lot of cricketers came out yesterday on the 15, on the 19. The nursery kids as well. So at the end of the day, we have people coming out, and this is what we want. And if we could have this going straight around the Caribbean, where we are trying to revive cricket, trying to build the interest in the youngsters for cricket in the Caribbean, then we'll be back on our way to getting back where we're supposed to get to as being the kings of international cricket.
Pijan, any question for okay.
That's my good friend, Mr. Pijan.
Yes, sir.
The Grenadian Whaler supporter.
Yes, sir.
How are you, Pijan?
I'm looking forward to later.
Well, I'm not surprised. You should be. But just remember, you can't see whale on his veil.
Okay. We will see.
Well, it's whale for sea. Not up here. It's Kingston for sea.
Okay.
Captain Williams, you sound upbeat and everything. A lot of people looking on. Well, you won't be surprised.
The youngsters from Spring Village who we talked about last week, are they out there?
So these youngsters, one played with Leeward, and actually LeBron Douglas got 3-4, I think it's 35 last night. He really enjoyed himself. He played for Leeward Lions, and he bowled pretty well, picking up 3 wickets last night. Getting the batter. I think it's Kevin Stout, who was actually scoring really well. After he scored 50, he got him out caught on the boundary. So this is good for our youngsters. Under 19 national player, doing well in a festival like this, where we see professional athletes playing. So this is good for our cricket. Watson, who played for Leeward as well, Ball had a pretty decent spell last night. And then Jordan Charles played for the Warriors, batted at number 4. So this is good to see that our young players are getting the chance to shine, and they have been doing well. Sean Backus as well, that plays with the Kings. So this is good for St. Vincent cricket.
Yes.
And Stout was the captain for Barbados one time. Is that correct?
Yes. So he was once a captain for Barbados, and also he played for the Windward Islands, because Windward Islands is more of a franchise thing now. We have a franchise system in West Indies cricket. So Stout actually did play for Windward Islands before, so he's not a stranger to the Windward Island. And it's good to see that he came in with the short notice. He came in the day before and he played that game, and he picked up 4 for 24. And then last night now he made like about 68, batted pretty well and bowled pretty well, but he didn't stay on the field long because it was a bit exhausted. So he got subbed out, but he did pretty well. If we definitely have to look for somebody who did well in this festival, it will definitely be him.
Yes. So things are going fantastic, it seems.
Yeah, lovely. I'm very impressed with the response from the people. People came out and they support. We do have some giveaways tonight again. We do have giveaways from KFC. We do have giveaways from Village Ram. So the people who are listening, they need to come in early to give yourself a chance to win a cooler filled with Village Ram and some Island Sip. And also we have pockets of KFC to give to fans that come in early, and their ticket is being picked out of a box. So all opportunities to win stuff. So we're urging people to come out early so they will get all the opportunities to win stuff.
All right, Keswick, good to talk to you as usual. Very knowledgeable man and very deep in terms of your analysis of cricket and all of those things. Thank you very much for sharing all your knowledge with us, and we hope sometime after the battle.
After the cricket, we definitely have to do a catch up because after we beat the Whalers tonight, I want to come in so I can sit next to my good friend Mr. Pigeon. And I want him on the left side of me so that we can have a conversation, about the Emancipation Cricket Festival, because I want to look him in his eyes so that he will know who is the real kings. You as well, I ain't forget he's a Warriors fan.
Hold on. Don't hang up. I'm taking a straight line call. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Yes, let me say good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I want to make.
I'm having Captain Williams is on the other line, and he's hearing you. You have a question for him or an interaction with him?
No, not for him. Not for him. But I know Kedrick, but I don't have a question for him.
All right. Well, hold on. Let me go back to him so he could round up. Hold on. Yes, Kedrick.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say the next interaction that we have, I would like to have yourself, Pigeon, and the Prime Minister there. The two Warriors and the Whalers fans sitting next to me after I lift that trophy. That would be good.
I'll make sure try and arrange that.
Of course. All right. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks a lot. And all the best for later.
Yes.
Good. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes. My question would be, can you recall, the last time the West Indies cricket team lift the World Cup, the 50-hour World Cup trophy?
The what hour?
When was the last time the West Indies cricket team lift or win the 50-over World Cup trophy?
That was under Sammy?
50-over World Cup.
I don't recall. What's the point you're making? I don't recall.
No, the point I want to get at is that West Indies cricket had been wobbling since the days of the legend.
Okay, so make the point, and therefore?
Yeah, I'm making the point. To my knowledge, the last time West Indies won the World Cup was in 1979. They won the first under Clive Lloyd, and they were losing finalists to India in 1980.
Yes, but we're not discussing West Indies cricket right now. But what is the point you're making in relation to what we're discussing now?
We're discussing cricket.
No. We're discussing.
We're not discussing West Indies cricket.
Hear me.
I'm hearing.
We're discussing Emancipation Cricket Festival. There's a big difference. From.
No. I thought.
Hear me. There's a big difference between discussing that and West Indies cricket.
But would you hear me also? I'm hearing you. Would you hear me?
Well, if you're going to make the point in relation to the Emancipation Cricket Festival, yes. Go ahead.
So if I'm making a point in relation to West Indies cricket, they don't want to hear me.
We're not discussing West Indies cricket on the program today. We're discussing Emancipation
So you don't want to hear
cricket.
the point on the West Indies cricket. Sorry, that's the point I'm making.
No, I don't really have time to go over. I'm making a simple point.
Okay.
We're focusing.
No West Indies cricket discussion.
We're
Thank
focusing
on.
Yes, I believe, I don't know, people sometimes it's difficult to. Yes, so we're discussing Emancipation Cricket Festival. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, James.
Minister James, greetings. How are you doing?
Happy to be on the program.
Yeah, good timing.
I'm so proud to hear all of the young talent we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Kesrick, Rodney, Colin, and then they have a very knowledgeable set of skills and what they're putting into the back room and what we're doing to build out in this Emancipation Cricket Festival. I want to start by commending all of the core committee and those persons who are working to ensure that this activity is one that will remain a memorable one for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. From where I observe things, I sense that this experience, Emancipation Cricket Festival, this activity, this event, if you like, it's beyond cricket, but goes into culture and tourism. What is your view on that?
Certainly, and that was really the intention from the outset. Using this period of emancipation and in honoring our legends in particular, we also looked at the idea of how we can package and produce something that is going to be of value to export. And I can tell you, with 1.2 million views across all the platforms, most of them out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In fact, I'm driving now to the luncheon where we're having in honor of the legends. And I just received a phone call from someone all the way in Antigua. And, you know, they were so caught up in the cricket. They're like, you know, we're following this thing, and the banter between all of the captains and even the organizers, those who were involved. And some of them were, in fact, the person told me they were backing the Lions, and they were hoping to see the Lions in the final. But, you know, and it really shows you the talent that we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think I heard someone recently making the point that, you know, we don't have the capacity or even the capability of hosting something like this in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And everyone that is involved, it's all local talent. And just bringing all the pieces together, from health security, from the police, the cricketing committee, the broadcasting, marketing committee, those who are involved in the cultural presentations and so on, the production team. In fact, API and VC3, this is the very first time the team at VC3, they're producing something of this magnitude. And when I questioned, I said, do you have the capability of doing this? And then I myself, you know, expressed some concerns, and they said, Minister, we have the equipment. We're going to get to work and see how best we can deliver this. And I'm really proud of all of the stakeholders who got involved, and they really delivered something which is an excellent product that the entire world is looking at. And as I mentioned to you, there are people from other Caribbean islands who are messaging, they're commenting. There are journalists who have an interest from the United Kingdom, people from South Africa. They've reached out, and this is an example of what we are able to do in St. Vincent, the skill sets and the education revolution, which we so proudly speak of. Every single person who is involved with this, they've done training, they've built out their capacity from the various levels, and they're really putting into practice what they've learned and the skill sets that they've acquired over time. And one of the important aspects of this, for me, which we can't put a dollar value on, is what I saw yesterday. The legends leaving to go to the Annesville ground around 10, 11 in the morning, meeting roughly about 80 or so young cricketers from the youth development programs, from those on the northeastern side of the island, the northwestern side, and the Jules Anthony Cricket Academy, the South Rivers School, the primary and secondary cricket champions, the Thomas Saunders Secondary School. And to see that level of interaction, and I made the point during the roundtable panel discussion yesterday, every country, cricketing nation, they have talent. There's backroom staff. They have all of the assets that you need, resources, financially and otherwise. But what we have that they don't have is the experience and the legacy of the legends. And to see the likes of Nixon McLean, who admitted to me the very first time he was seeing a legend was on a tour to West Indies. The very first time he was actually playing at Annisvale was when he was called up for selection. And to have youngsters as early as age 5 getting an experience to interact with the likes of, Sir Gordon Greenwich. One of the youngsters who was an opening batter, he went up to Gordon, he said, look, I have a question to you. I'm fearful to take the first strike. How do you overcome this? I always like to be on the other side of the end when taking the first strike, We had a pace bowler who said, I want to play test cricket, and went up to Sir Andy and said, tell me how can I deliver the variation? And the questions were so intelligible, they were like spot on, and the answers were very honest and frank. And I think for us, what we need to do as a cricketing region is to try to preserve as much as possible these legends, the legacy and the information that they have, the knowledge about the game, but also the passion. And if we can transplant that into the next generation of cricketers, it's not about who can play the most IPLs and the commercial contracts and the back-end negotiations with what is taking place now with cricket, which is now a commercialized entity. And I'm talking about the gambling rights and the television broadcast rights and all of these things, the sponsorship rights and so on in the stadiums. Let's go back to basic cricket, the fundamentals of the game, and how we can take what the legends have and transplant that into the next generation of cricketers. We're talented people, and we can really pull out from us the next generation of champions. And I think if we are to separate ourselves from any other cricketing nation, that is what I think we have, what is unique. And the more we try to inculcate this within the grassroots and get in all of the programs. I mean, there's a conversation about not enough youth development. There are youth development programs in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, run by a number. In fact, I can talk about the Jules Anthony Cricket Club, which is the only club in St. Vincent that has both a female team, a senior men's team, and a youth team. And there's a clinic which they work with kids as early as 5 right through to under 19s. And this is a program that has been going on for years. Started with Jules, and I've been deeply involved in it behind the scenes. You don't hear a lot about me with cricket, but behind the scenes I've been one of the persons driving that in North Leeward. There's Nixon McLean, there's before Irvin Warrington passed, he had a similar program. There are people Orlando Jackson, who are working with our youngsters. And it's an injustice to say that we're not doing enough for cricket, but I think there are some missing elements that must come together. And again, there's this fallacy that there's not enough infrastructural development, right? We can speak about Cumberland, we can speak about Chile Playing Field, we can speak about what's taking place, the developments that are going to go into London. We're going to light playing fields in London, in Daphne, in Golden Grove, in Chateaubelair, and Arnoldsville, Sion Hill. We've implemented rehabilitative programs even during this World Cup and in 2007. And millions of dollars we've invested in cricket development, both in infrastructure and working along with clubs and coaches and so on across the country. So we just have to tie the missing elements and get them going in a very the symmetry of that to really see cricket moving back to its pinnacle days in both in the Caribbean and in St. Vincent and Grenadines. And I think what I saw yesterday but it was really the highlight for the entire weekend for me. Never before in the history of this game we've had at least 6 legends in one space, with nearly 80 to 100 youngsters from St. Vincent and the Grenadines sharing a one-on-one, having frank and robust conversation about the game and transplanting that knowledge onto our youth cricketers. And that was just, to me, a very emotional and heartwarming feeling to see. We were able to do that in a very normal way, but to me it transcended more than what this activity is about. It transcended more than what we, in fact, had in mind when we started the production and development of this activity, which started some months ago. And to see all of this come to the fore, and that was the remarkable part of the whole experience for me. And I really hope that we've been able to put a light on something which can be magnificent, something that we can continue to explore and to expand and pull out from within all of these youngsters, the level of greatness which we know they possess. And as Kesrick said earlier, one of those youngsters they're from Spring Village, who actually their training ground is at Cumberland, which we have a nets facility, and there's a wonderful infrastructure development there. He took 3 wickets in the game last night. And and he's an under-19 cricketer, and these are the kind of talent which we're honing and we're developing, and we want to see a lot of the coaches who are involved should take the credit for the hard work and the investment that they're putting into a number of these athletes. I'm really happy with what has taken place.
What's your assessment of how things have gone so far, Minister, in terms of on the field basically and around the field?
Quite remarkable. One of the things I told one of the cricketers, I said, listen, you just need to go out there, be consistent, take good catches, do well in the field, between the wickets, bat well. These are legends. You think of the likes of a Sir Andy Roberts seeing a pace bowler in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, or Clive Lloyd or Gordon Greenwich seeing a batter. And the performance, the way in which they hold the bat, the technique, the fielding, the general all-around ability. If they're able to, these guys will know talent when they see it. Mm-hmm. And if they're able to, and in fact, they were asking questions. Who's this one that opened? Who's this youngster that was coming from the left and he was bowling left arm seam? They were inquiring about some of the athletes. Mm-hmm. And this is also an opportunity for scouting, because I am sure these legends, when they leave, once they're able to spot one or two of the talented cricketers, those local guys who are here, they're going to leave and they're going to make phone calls. They're going to say, look, I was able to spot somebody in St. Vincent. He's a left-arm seamer. The guy looks good. He has the right technique. We need to find out more about this cricketer. Let's see what we can do in relation to him. I am sure the same thing with the batters. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's any cricket that these youngsters can play, whether at a national level, whether at a regional level, where you're going to get this much attention and eyes on you to perform. And if you were to make a break, and a success story similar to that is Kesrick Williams. Kesrick, when he started playing cricket, was overlooked by the national team. Kesrick was overlooked by the Windward Islands. Kesrick had to go to Barbados and play for combined campuses. Yeah, it is at that level his talent was spotted. Similarly with Carlos Brathwaite. And then is when he was able to move in from there to the West Indies team. And so there are talent among us that some people, and there's always that internal politics with sport administrators. Sometimes it's just you don't get the attention of the people who are involved in the sport. And sometimes there's the back room and the back door you have to go through to make it and to prove yourself. And if we're talking about any opportunity for these youngsters to display their talent before 6 legends of the game and 1.2 million people, including scouts and coaches, who are looking at these games. This is the perfect opportunity. The level of this festival is at the level of West Indies playing, or the level of an international match, and that is in terms of viewership, in terms of the exposure, and it's a perfect opportunity for them to really capitalize on that opportunity. And I'm happy that we had a number of them doing well. I did see some critical gaps in terms of guys who I know personally were extremely talented, not living up to that expectation. One or two of them, but we had some chat with them in the back room and the players gallery, and they understood the importance of this. It's not just going out there and playing local cricket. You're going out there at an international level, because the exposure of this festival is of such, and it gives you that opportunity. And the tournament was designed to have a number of we had special consideration for the youth development cricketers who came in Some of them were super subs. There was a mandatory requirement that you must leave off a player. For instance, Hiron Shallow was an excellent batter, but he's over age 40. The likes of him moving into a West Indies team at this age, though he's extremely talented. So we said, look, you will bat, but you must give an opportunity for a young person to come on. So you had an excellent former national cricketer like Hiron Shallow, who was on the bench for some of the hours of the games, because we had to allow the opportunity for some of these youth development cricketers to feature. And that was a fantastic initiative that was designed into the programming of the games, and I'm really happy that we're able to do that.
Minister, just before we let you go, for tonight, how do you see things? Well, I don't know. Is your original team in for tonight? I don't know which of the teams you.
Unfortunately, my team, the Lions, we didn't make it to the final, but we're looking keenly, and I found something quite fascinating. A lot of people from the Windward side of the country are backing the Whalers, and I didn't understand it. I don't know if it had anything to do with the captain being Jamil Warwick, and who is originally from that side. But the Whalers really do have a good team on paper, and it's interesting to see how that will translate into the execution on the ground, and in between the wicket. But of course, the Kings seemingly is the crowd favorite. Most of the teas for the supporters, the branding, they've in high demand. I think the Kings they're nearly sold out. If some persons were calling asking, I said, look, I can't even give you, because people are coming to buy the Kings, the Kingston Kings teas, that I can't even offer one. But it's a very popular matchup tonight. The Whalers and the Kings. Let's see the best team win, and I don't have a horse in the race. My whole prediction tonight is that the Kings will live up to the expectation and the hype, but the Whalers has been the team least talked about in this festival, but the team to look at, and may very well create an upset tonight.
I know transportation is a problem for some people. Is there any way that the organizers considering putting on, we have been encouraging public transport to put on vans. In fact, I know from some areas there's mobilizing from people who have bought tickets, and they're coming in their taxis and organizing, persons per head, and persons are coming out on the road, and the buses are going to be on the road, because a number of people called and reached out to me and said, look, I'm coming on Sunday. How our transportation arrangements in place. And I know there are quite a few communities, personally, people organizing their own transportation to mobilize and to get there to the venue. Because I know you have a good, a strong cultural package as well, based on what Rodney told us earlier. So certainly, the creativity of this, I've never seen it anywhere before, where the perfect symmetry and marriage between cricket and the actual festival, the entertainment cultural part of it. The way we're able to have it transition so smoothly from on field to off field and seamlessly. The production team, again, I want to commend them. But really, it's something that is unique. I really do appreciate the work that everyone has put in place. Annette Mark has been doing an excellent job as well with her team at the Tourism Authority. Rodney has been working quite well. Nixon McLean, Kesrick Williams, and all of them we've really pulled together a core team of talented people. And then outside of that, as I said, there's media, there's communications, marketing, there's even health security, the police, Gosty Cottle, who's handling logistics as well, coordinated with a number of young people from North Ewood, who really is about building capacity among young people. I am confident that we are quite able and capable to host quite a number of large-scale international activities with the people that we've pulled together in this team. It's just about building capacity among our young talent, and we're able to execute. Mm-hmm. What's the just in closing the regional attention being like? I was at the function yesterday afternoon. Saw people there, reporters, media people from St. Lucia. We in fact we have a few regional journalists who flew in.
Andrew Mason from the Mason Guest Show, who's here, featured. He was the host of the panel yesterday, the round table. But there's Barbados Today, there's St. Lucia Times, there's a production team, in fact, who came in as well, following this from Barbados. There have been inquiries from, I think, even the Guardian newspaper in the United Kingdom as well. People who are really picked. CMC, I believe, has been. There's Philip Spooner, who's here as well as a regional broadcaster and journalist covering sports across the region. So quite a number of people have really paid keen attention to this event, and I want to say it here. Following this activity, and not just because of the excellent execution of it, but we are very much keen on being a host country of a CPL team. And you're hearing it the first time here in St. Vincent on your program. But over a year ago, we started discussions with a few international persons who are cricketers and persons who are deeply involved in the CPL management. And we're hoping within the next year or two, St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be one of the countries being considered to host a CPL team. I think they're looking to add an additional two countries and two teams, which will take it from 6 to 8. And very much so, St. Vincent is at least in the top 2 for consideration for that. And these are discussions we've been having. Over a year ago, Pete Russell and I, who's the president, who's the head of the CPL, we've been having some discussions informally, of course. I will fly down to Guyana for the final of this year's CPL, and I want to keenly look at how we can explore the opportunity of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, at least in the not too distant future, being one of the host countries of a CPL franchise.
Big things are in store, Minister, it sounds like.
Certainly, and it's where we're going in the direction of niche areas, sport and cultural tourism, and we're capitalizing on several of these niche areas. There's romance, which we've been big on that for a number of years, and we're claiming our stake as one of the leading Caribbean destinations where romance is concerned in terms of tourism. People who are coming for honeymoons and people who are coming for destination weddings. We're big in sustainable tourism as well. That's another niche area. Where people who are talking about St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a green destination, somewhere where they can, in fact, have an opportunity to come and not just have that type of Caribbean postcard vacation where it's just sun, sea, and sand, but hike to a volcano, hike to a nature trail or a waterfall. And of course, we're building out new facilities, tourism and infrastructure. We'll be expanding on those over the next going into the next few months, into the next year. And of course, apart from the announcement of a new beaches resort and a Marriott, there's likely to be an announcement of a few more additional hotel developments coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we will make this available to the public in due course once the investors and the developers are prepared and ready to facilitate those announcements. But we have quite a few developments coming where tourism is concerned.
All right. Pigeon, any question for the minister?
I'm just wondering the future of the emancipation cricket. Is this a one-off, or can we anticipate other tournaments?
The momentum I see here, we can pretty much anticipate that. And I'll tell you, it's a perfect window where people are coming off of some international tournaments leading into the CPL, where it's a window where they get to get a bit of practice in, get a bit warm in terms of preparing for the big CPL tournament in a few weeks. So it's a perfect opportunity. Those folks who came in from South Africa and other places, they want to climatize. They want to get familiar with the wicket, the ground within the Caribbean, and of course, it's a good opportunity for them to knock around a few balls and to get oriented into the climate in relation to that. Yes.
All right, Minister. Just want to let you know and our listeners know that I'm calling. The captain is calling. I'm heading for the Whalers. For Beckway.
Okay, great.
Get on. There's no way to see an honest way.
I understand. I understand the board. There's a schedule at the fast ferry this evening. They extended from 6 to 11:30 tonight. They'll be extending a schedule to accommodate persons coming from the Grenadines. I'm really happy that they're able to jump on that opportunity. But I'm asking persons to come out very early. Of course, the parking, we wanted to ensure you have good and safe parking, but also the security screen, and it takes a little time. Though it has been really, really fast. I'm getting people from the ticketing booth into the venue. We want to ensure that persons are there for an early start tonight. But we do have the big ceremony at the halftime where we honor the legends. They will take to the playing field, will come on the ground, they will interact with people, and of course something symbolic will happen tonight in relation to the honoring of the legends who have taken the time to spend a few days with us here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We cannot be more honored to have them here and for them to look. I heard Sir Clive gave a personal speech at the Prime Minister's residence at the breakfast we had. He said, "Listen, we have never felt so honored in terms of the way in which the appreciation in which St. Vincent and the Grenadines has given us in relation to this." And some persons who said, "Well, this thing is a circus." I mean, how can you equate the legends interacting with 80 to nearly 100 youngsters across the entire country? That opportunity to transfer knowledge, to build that capacity of the next generation of cricketers, youth development cricketers. The legends themselves who are saying, "Look, we've never felt this honored by anywhere or by anyone in relation to how we've hosted them and the treatment in which they've received them." They were quite pleased about it. And I mean, how could we equate this to a circus? And the symbolic nature of what we're doing. There's no, I don't know if we can put a value on it. There's something that is of an invaluable nature that we and then only those who are involved and who are seeing it can really appreciate the legacy that we're really setting here for the next generation of Caribbean people.
Mm-hmm. All right, Minister, that's lovely to have had you on and sharing with us. And
all right.
We look forward to later on this evening.
Yes. So later on at 7. All the best and all the best to your listeners. See you at Annisville.
All right then, good. Thanks for calling again. All right. Yeah, Pijan, that's about it. Bringing down the curtain on the program today. We've had a good one. Any final remarks?
Well, I just want to wish the Grenadines well as well this afternoon, this evening.
Yes.
And I think emancipation celebrations this year took on some special significance, and we can't underestimate the extent to which the cricket festival added to it. Mm-hmm. I want to wish everybody who participated all the best.
Yes, I join you. And despite my bantering, I have no particular team later on. May the best team win, and may people enjoy to the max watching the match, the activities later on this evening. And so, on behalf of Pijan and Kieran, my name is Cecil Ryan. Good afternoon.